Hello and welcome back. We're so excited to be here. I've actually really missed Karina and these videos. So excited to be back. We hope you're happy to see us. Let's get cracking with lesson 91. So, lesson 91, miracles are seen in light. So you cannot see real truth, aka miracles, in darkness. And when we say darkness, we mean fear, ego, or illusion. You must be willing to shift your perception, your awareness to light, which, as we spoke about before, symbolizes love, truth, and clarity. Miracles require a different way of seeing, not with the body's eyes, but with the mind that is aligned with love. Remember, because what we are seeing outside of us when running through our conditioning and programming is a result of the past. So when it says not with the body's eyes, it's basically saying not through the lens of the past. So the key teachings within this, which Karina will go through in a minute, but as we spoke before as well, is you see what you believe you see, right? Your reality is shaped by your perception, and your perception is shaped by your beliefs. If you believe you're unworthy or that the world is dangerous, that's what you'll see. As you'll hear me say, that's the frequency that you're tuned into. To see miracles, you must believe they're possible. You must believe beyond what you're being shown right in front of you, because again, what you're seeing right in front of you is a result of your programmed and conditioned past. So sight, as I've said, isn't just a function of the eyes, it's a decision made by the mind. You choose what you want to perceive and how you think about it. The light's just gone out. Sorry about that. So I say quite a lot, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And this is how you invite miracles into your life. And again, we've said before, come on. I think I'm just going to be in the darkness. Can you still see me properly? Yes, you can. It's fine.
You look great.
Thank you. You know, you're like, can you see me? I've lost my train of thought now. I've lost my train of thought. But obviously that was the end of that. So I'm just gonna leave it there and let Karina carry on.
Yeah, you hit all the important parts there. So we talk about the reality being an illusion, the reality we see being an illusion, and that's why is because the way that your eyes and your physical senses process reality. Oh, now it's gone even darker. The way that your eyes and your physical senses process reality is like an illusion. It's like the virtual reality sensations, right? The truth of everything comes from that inner seeing, that inner knowing, that true vision, which isn't about the physical eyes, like Sammy said. So what I think about, and when I'm teaching my clients and when I'm talking about this stuff, is I just say it's all noise, which can be a little like jolting, perhaps, to start seeing your physical senses as just noise. Obviously sound is noise, but I call it all noise. The thoughts are noise, the sights are noise, the physical sensations are noise. It's all just noise, like neutral noise without meaning. And then when we're seeing from our spiritual sight, when we're seeing from from the light, from the place of seeing truth, then we can see that it doesn't matter what noise is arising, it's all love, it's all peace, it's all oneness, it's all wonderful, it's all beautiful, it's all magical, and every single seed of every single moment contains that seed of miracles, is what I meant to say. So so the point of this lesson is that the light in which miracles exist is always within you. We've already touched on this. We've already paved the way for you to start to see this. It's that eternal sun that is coming from within, that is within all of us. It's one eternal sun that is shining through every single one of our experiences, from our seemingly individual, seemingly separate experiences. And it's in that light that is already within us, not something we have to create, not something that we have to find. It's in that light in which every single moment contains that seed for a miracle. So, so the idea of miracles, because this is the Course in Miracles, the idea of seeing miracles, the idea of finding miracles, the idea of creating miracles is that we don't actually create miracles, we reveal miracles. We learn to perceive the miracles through true seeing, which is spiritual vision, which is vision via that light, not through the vision of our senses, the vision of our eyes, not through making that noise mean anything, not through waiting for the noise to align with what we believe is a miracle, the sights to align with what we believe in is a miracle, but through that spiritual inner seeing. And this, I'm, from being only on lesson 91, and also we're all the way on lesson 91, both, it's we've gone far, but we still have a lot more further to go. You might be saying, like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? But again, you'll notice that up to now, a lot of it can be like that, and we'll add more and more onto it. But this starts to pave the way to understand that that we're not looking for physically seeing the world in a new way. We're looking for an inner seeing of the world in a new way, so that, as Sammy said, the way that we physically see the world starts to shift, because the way that we see the world with our physical eyes isn't real. It is an illusion created by the ego. So again, miracles are always present, but they're only available, but they're only visible in that light of truth. And that light of truth is already within you and already available. So it's about removing the barriers that keep us from seeing the miracles, removing fear, removing doubt, removing separation, removing that ego's darkness that it casts, the shadows that it casts with it, to upon that light or in front of that light. Yeah, so your true vision comes from within, not physical sight. And the light that reveals miracles is already within you. You just need to let it shine. So the way that you practice this is in the morning and evening. You want to spend about 5 to 10 minutes. Close your eyes and turn inward and say to yourself, miracles are seen in light. And let go of the dark thoughts and let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, let go of separation, and allow light to enter your mind, body, and heart. And then hourly affirm, I choose to see with light, because you are the light. And then throughout the day, when upset, remind yourself, I cannot see miracles in darkness, and shift to a loving perspective with light. Sammy?
And the only thing I want to add, actually, I just want to give some examples. The thing that I was going to say before I forgot what I was going to say, which was funny because we're talking about being in darkness, and then I just went into complete darkness. It's just like, it would be a miracle if these lights turned on. Is that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? And there is so many things that I have perceived over the last couple of weeks through the lens of the ego: judgment, fear, guilt, shame. And something that has actually helped me, and again, you shouldn't become a crutch on it, but it's being in the right, again, so a thing that's helped me is ChatGPT, but again, don't become reliant on it. But also at the same time, the output is only as good as the input. So I was only able to experience the information that I got back because my frequency had changed in the input. There's a couple of things that have happened with me over the last couple of weeks that I started to feel real guilty about, really disheartened. I've just got back from Bali, living the dream in Bali. Why have I come home? Like, what am I doing back here currently? I'm currently living with my parents. And my ego wanted to make a story about it, right? My ego wanted to be like, you're a failure, you've not made it. And all of these false narratives to keep me small, to keep me stuck, to keep me in pain, to keep me in suffering. And I was like, I don't believe this. I don't believe this. And as a result of me shifting my frequency, I then started having a conversation with ChatGPT. Long story short, as a result of what I'd shifted, I then started to see the light in the situation. What if I'm being called back to where it's all started? And this is a huge rebirth for me, a big quantum leap where an abundance of miracles is going to happen. And I get to start this journey as Sammy, reborn again from the exact same place she was born. She's now come back because I was back for my birthday, being reborn with this new identity, this new version of who I really am, and therefore experiencing the world in a new way. Right? Once I dissolved the ego, the guilt, the shame, the judgment, I was able to see it for how it really was. And I was like, oh, and I never came back out of fear or guilt. I came back because I wanted to close that loop and start fresh and build foundations on the essence of who I really am, not foundations from ego or from past conditionings, from condition passed down from my parents and ancestors. And it felt really liberating. But I couldn't see that when my ego was distorting it through the lens of judgment, guilt, and shame, like I said, right? And sometimes it's the separation, but only from the stories, that allows the light of the miracle to come in. So the only thing that we should ever be separating from is the story, is the narrative. Right? We're separating and detaching from that to allow the miracles of a shift in perspective. Because remember, that's a miracle, a shift in perspective, a shift in frequency, a shift in the way you see things or think about things. That is a miracle because it pulled me out of victimhood. It pulled me out of ego and pulled me back into alignment with the essence of who I really am. So again, you might be looking, don't shut down these miracles, right? You might be thinking, well, where's my lottery win, or where's my Range Rover, or where's my house? That's a miracle. No, there's tiny miracles happening all the time, right? But why do you think that you're not going to receive big miracles if you're not even noticing the small ones? You have to start appreciating the little shifts and changes that you're experiencing to then understand what it feels like to truly be in your power and in the light of the creator, to then use that power and that awareness to create even bigger miracles. That's what I wanted to say. Is there anything else you want to say, Corina, before we go?
Yeah, just really quickly, when you mentioned like the guilt and the shame, we can go back to that lesson in A Course in Miracles. I forget which one it was, but it was like, what's the opposite of guilt? The opposite of guilt is our holiness, right? Our holiness is when we remember that we are not separate from anything. You can only feel guilt and shame when you buy back into the belief that we're separate. So what you did is exactly that. You remembered your holiness, right? So for everyone else in this lesson of miracles is in the light, well, all you have to remind yourself is, what is the opposite of guilt? What is the opposite of shame? What is the opposite of fear? Your holiness, your oneness with God, your oneness with everything. We talked about how if you are one with God and God is everything, then you must be one with everything, right? So I just wanted that, it arose, so I just wanted to remind you guys of that lesson. You can go back and I don't remember which lesson it was. Hold on, actually maybe. Yeah, lesson 39. You can go back and review lesson 39 if this feels relevant to you. But since it arose, I wanted to share.
Amazing. Great addition. Thank you. And I think it closed it off perfectly. So on that note, we will leave it there and we will see you tomorrow for lesson 92.